Hello, and welcome back to the Killer Voice Studios YouTube channel and another tutorial video that I hope will propel you to voiceover excellence. I remain Devin Larson. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I wanted to say up top how much I appreciate all the comments and feedback you guys have been leaving. It helps a lot, and one of the ways that it helps is it lets me know what areas you'd like these videos to focus on so that the information that I provide can be as useful to you as possible. Something I've been hearing about from a number of people is that the more recent versions of Audacity have made significant changes to the limiter effect in the interface. Basically, the limiter looks a lot different now than it used to, and that's been throwing a lot of people, which is not good. I've been in the middle of a couple of audiobook projects, so I've been reluctant to upgrade versions mid-project. Pro tip, if you're in the middle of a project, maybe think twice before automatically upgrading, as the interface can change significantly between versions of Audacity. But now that I've had a chance to upgrade and poke around a little bit, I think I've got this limiter thing figured out, so that's why I've returned, to pass that knowledge on to you. First, let me explain what the limiter is and where it fits into your workflow. I talk about this in a previous video about editing voiceover using Audacity, and if you haven't seen that one, check the link below, obviously, but a refresher is always helpful. We'll begin by recording some audio to work with. This is a test. This is a test of the old limiter in Audacity versus the new limiter in Audacity. This is only a test. So there we have our raw audio, and we're going to be checking the results of our effects today using the ACX Check plugin, which I will link to in the video description below. If we run this on the raw audio we just recorded, we see that the noise floor is acceptable, but everything else about the audio is way too quiet, which is pretty normal depending on where your gain is set on your audio interface when you're recording. So a good first step is to normalize or adjust the volume of the audio that we just recorded using either the effects normalize, which will raise the volume of your recording to a desired level based on the peak or maximum loudness, or loudness normalization, which does it based on the average loudness, also known as the RMS level. Audiobook requirements for ACX have a specific acceptable threshold for RMS levels, anywhere between -23 and -18 decibels, which is why mine's set for -20 right in the middle. So loudness normalization is going to be your best option, but as you see, we can adjust that and then run the ACX check, and our RMS level is now great, but since we adjusted everything based on the average loudness and not the peaks, our peak loudness is now way too high. Would it surprise you to learn that ACX also has a specific threshold for peak levels? That threshold is -3 decibels. So anything louder than that in your recording is going to make sure that you fail ACX check and your audio isn't going to be accepted. What the limiter effect does is grabs those peak volume levels and pulls them back down to an acceptable range. Now, the limiter has undergone significant changes between versions of Audacity. This is the old version that I'm showing you first. And it made things pretty straightforward. You simply chose the limit level, what you wanted to limit it to, in this case -3 decibels, how long you wanted the effect to last once it starts in milliseconds, the hold, which I just kept at 10, and then whether you want a soft limit, a hard limit, a soft clip, or a hard clip. Now, hard limit and hard clip are going to just roughly yank down anything over that limit level, kind of just flattening the tops of those waveforms. And it's pretty harsh, looks kind of unnatural. A better way to do it is going to be to run it as a soft limit. And the difference there is it not only grabs the peaks, but everything in the immediate vicinity and sort of proportionally affects everything around the limit so that it brings everything down below the level, but the transition is more gradual. But as I said, this is the old version. The new version doesn't quite do it this way. Here we have Audacity 3.7, and we are going to take a look at the new limiter, which can be found in the Effects menu under Volume and Compression, or if your interface is arranged like mine, I have all of my effects in one long list, so I would select it from here. I did want to take a second to point out that the legacy limiter still exists, so if the new one isn't doing it for you, you can always revert to the old version. But I digress. We can see right away that there's no longer any hard or soft limit. Instead, we have threshold, makeup target, knee width, and then the smoothing sections look ahead and release time. I know, it looks intimidating, but you really only need to change a couple of things and you can mostly leave the rest as default. Full disclosure up front though, I'm not a sound engineer, so I have a performer's basic understanding of how this stuff works, but it should be enough to get the job done for most people watching this. Starting with the second field, makeup target, this is your limit level. So go ahead and set that to -3 decibels or whatever you want to limit your peak volume to. In the first field, threshold, this has to do with when you want the effect to kick in. So with a soft limit in the previous version, the effect reduced not only the very peaks above the limit you set, but also the stuff just below that level. So it adjusts everything in the vicinity a little bit rather than flattening the curve abruptly. In order for us to achieve the same effect, you'll want to set your threshold a bit before the limit level. So if our limit level is -3 decibels, the threshold should be -3.5 or -4. You probably don't want it adjusting much more than the very top of your waveform, so I wouldn't put the threshold much earlier than that. Next is knee width, aka how sharply the limiting effect kicks in past the threshold. A lower number will mean a sharper, flatter, harder limit, and a bigger number means a softer limit. I left mine on the default of 2.0. Finally, there's the smoothing sections, look ahead and release time. Again, I left mine on default as you see them here. Look ahead has to do with how much of the incoming waveform your computer is using to process the limiting effect, so a higher number will result in a smoother curve, but it slows the processing of the effect way down. Release time is similar to the hold setting on the old version, how long the limiter effect lasts once it's activated. Honestly, you shouldn't really need to mess with these all that much. So let's apply the effect and refer to ACX check to see how close we are. And we're close, but not quite there yet, which honestly is what I expected. We'll undo that, and through practice and tinkering around, I realized that with this new limiter, you don't really want to set the makeup target to exactly the limit level that you want. You want to give it just a hair's breadth of space to work with. So we'll drop it down to -3.1, reapply, and then when we look at ACX check, we see now it's a pass. We're all good. This would pass ACX submission standards. So that's the new limiter and how it functions. Not too bad, right? The new limiter is basically the same as the old limiter, except they renamed everything and they broke soft limit into two categories, threshold and knee width. Otherwise, it's mostly the same. Make sure you're running ACX check in between each time you run the effect, and again, link for that will be in the description below, just to make sure you're hitting those peak levels, and if not, maybe tweak the values for threshold and knee width a little bit. Hope that helps. Please like, subscribe, and comment, especially if there's something you'd like these videos to cover in the future. Until next time.